توجهتوا يا أهل ناصر؟ أنا عليت الصوت عند الشيخ صلاح شوي صغيرة. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. The Sheikh started this lecture with asking Allah Azza wa Jalla to accept from us, and he's making dua. Tonight, inshallah, we're going to finish the Quran, and we're going to have the dua after that. And there was a question about this dua. What is its authentication? It's known that the previous generations used to make dua with no specific dua, but they make a general dua. When the Muslim finished reciting the Quran, he used to raise his hand and to ask Allah the Almighty and to ask Him from the goodness of this life and the hereafter. It is known that they used to make the dua at the end of the Quran. Whether they are doing it individually when they finish it at home, he will bring his wife and kids and start asking Allah. That's what is known for Anas ibn Malik, that he used to bring his family when he finished the Quran and ask Allah Azza wa Jalla. The thing is, people should not take it too long where people get bored. Some people, they spend an hour in the dua. This is not proper, and this is not the action of those who are before us. We ask Allah, and then whatever Allah opens in his heart from the things that's combining the dua. He alayhi salatu wasalam, he used to love to make the dua that's general. He'd ask for the goodness, all of it, what he knew and what he did not know, what we knew and what Allah knows. And examples of that sort, that always the dua is in general, on the general good. That's what he used to love, alayhi salatu wasalam. Someone asked me, there's the hadith, there is no traveling except to three masjid: Masjid al-Haram, Al-Aqsa, and the Prophet ﷺ's masjid. I like someone who is a good reciter of the Quran, who has more benefit than me. Is there any burden if I go to that qari, or I make a tikaf in his masjid? Is there any burden, anything wrong in doing that? Let's understand the hadith first before we talk about it, and see how we're going to implement it. As far as the authenticating the hadith, it is authenticated. Bukhari and Muslim narrated in the books. The travel goes only to three masjids: the Masjid al-Haram, Masjid al-Aqsa, and the Masjid of the Prophet ﷺ in Medina. Me and the Prophet ﷺ could not want people to make the travel to any masjid beside those three. meaning to travel to. When you go to Masjid Farouk here, you're not making the traveling. That's not where the thing is, or anything in any of the masjid in Houston. No, that's the travel. So the Prophet ﷺ, he forbid. And a place that you think this has more specific issue in it than others. But whomever travel to go and visit his kinship or a brother of his in the sake of Allah, or to seek knowledge, or for someone who has a beautiful voice, or he likes the dua and it makes him more humble to Allah. The hadith is talking about, like, if someone wants to try thinking that there is something blessed or benefit more than these things places, that's what is forbidden. But he could travel to any other purpose, or to condole somebody, or to visit a sick person, or to visit kinship. You could travel anywhere, even if it's not for worship. What is forbidden is to travel to a masjid in particular, or a place that thinking that it is more authenticated, more blessed, more it's more blessed than others. Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen, Allah have mercy on him, says, and that was tough on some people. If someone went from one country to another to listen to the khutbah, it's in that forbidden area. It's not like that, as this is that's going for knowledge. To go for knowledge is not in the places that Allah's Messenger forbids us from traveling to. Some people said the Prophet ﷺ, every Saturday he used to go to Quba. Yes, it's true. But he did not travel. It's something that you could walk. It's a walk and distance. That's not, again, what is not in there. Whomever traveled to Al-Madinah Munawwara and went to the Masjid Nabawi, if he's staying in it, he is allowed to visit Masjid Quba. Whomever purified himself in his house and went to Masjid Quba, also if you are in Medina, you can go to Al-Baqi', the cemetery of Baqi', or the martyrs of Uhud without traveling. You're not going for that. You are going to visit the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ, and then you go to visit all the things that's next to it. As long as you're there, you can go Al-Baqi', the martyrs of Uhud, Masjid Quba. You are in Medina anyway, so you're not going to a specific place for the other masjids or the other thing beside the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ. So the meaning of the hadith, you do not travel to any masjid or any specific place because of that place, thinking that it has a specific or preference other than others, except for three that are different than others, which is the Masjid al-Haram in Mecca, the Masjid al-Aqsa in Jerusalem, and the Masjid al-Prophet ﷺ in Medina. Ibn Baz was asked, there is a beautiful reciter in our city, and he makes people humble, and people come to him from east and west. So what is the rule about coming to just watch, to hear this place? Did they get into the place that is forbidden to travel to, except for these three masjids? So he said, we don't see anything wrong with that, because this is into traveling to contemplate in the Quran, to listen to it from a good reciter is part of contemplating, to think about the Quran. So that's not part of the forbidden. The Prophet ﷺ said that Musa alayhi salam took a big trip to Al Khadr and the area of the sea, so he could learn and the scholars, and just like the companions did, from one region to another, one country to another, to learn, to gain knowledge. The Prophet ﷺ said, whomever took a path trying to seek knowledge, Allah will ease a way for him to Jannah. Someone asked, what is the rule about traveling to condole somebody, to give condolences? So he told him to travel from this, it is to bring kinship, which is travel, like someone who travel to see a friend, or to travel to knowledge, or to visit a sick person. All of this, it is from the things that is allowed. What is not allowed is to go to the areas, to the places that you think that has specific preferences that's better than others. But to travel to a specific place to glorify it, that is what is forbidden. So the only three is a place that is glorified, like the Masjid al-Haram, Al-Aqsa, and the Masjid of Rasul, but not to graveside. No, you don't make any preference of any area over others besides those three masajid that is mentioned in the hadith. So you seek like you go to see a scholar in Dallas, you go to Dallas for that person, not because of Dallas. So you go to condole somebody, whether he's in this country or another different country or region, in this house or that place, is no difference. Just like someone wanted to go and visit someone else for the sake of Allah, whether it is for kinship, or this because sick person, or any of the news, like the story of the person who went to travel to see a brother of his in the sake of Allah. Allah put an angel in his way. He said, you go to visit, are you going to return a favor for him? He said, no, nothing. He said, I'm the messenger for Allah, that Allah loves you and will enter Jannah because of your love for that brother, and he reward you Jannah because of your trip to visit your brother. So take that travel to a specific area, thinking that it has an honor or preference of that place, is not allowed except for those three places: the Masjid al-Haram, Masjid al-Aqsa, and Masjid al-Prophet. But because you could travel to any other place because you're seeking knowledge, or kinship that you want to stay in touch with, or a friend that you want to visit, or sick person, or to give condolences to some sick people, all of this is allowed, because you're not visiting the specific place thinking it has a specific preference. Because if that person is in a different area, you will change your destination. So to travel because you wanted to stay in one place, where you help him in the piety and goodness, this is all allowed, inshallah. So we continue another issue that we talked before yesterday, from the thing that wipes or stops the good deeds and getting the reward for a good deed is the ta'alli on Allah, meaning you swear on someone, daring to say that this person will not enter heaven, or will not he's in the hellfire, or Allah will never forgive him, saying, oh, by Allah you will never enter Jannah, or by Allah you will not be accepted, or because of something or action this guy did. Can someone tell someone, oh, your prayers is not accepted? Can you say that statement? Is this something? First of all, the acceptance is only back to Allah, no doubt about it. But there is some signs. If someone prayed with no wudu, you tell him your prayer is not accepted. Allah will not accept prayers with no wudu. If someone intended they wanna recite Al-Fatiha, and that's a part of the prayers, you cannot perform it without Al-Fatiha. Or someone does not straighten up in his sujood, and I saw this in this masjid, and I'm really surprised that we talk about this in this masjid. We tell people, and still some of our brothers do not straighten up and when they stand up, nor when they make sujood, because the prayer, it is not accepted, because the Prophet ﷺ told the guy, pray because you did not pray, and he prayed the same way, and he told him the same thing, you did not pray. After the third one, he said, by Allah who sent you with truth, I do not know anything else to teach me. So he taught him. So you have to be calm when he makes sujood and stand up. Yeah, some people, as soon as he make ruku, immediately, not even takes a second, his whole body did not complete the ruku, did not calm down, he did not even make the ruku. So you have to come to a complete sum before you can travel to the next part of the prayer. Part of the acceptance of the prayers, if a woman came in with a mini skirt and she prayed, it's not accepted, because because it's not part of the because the covering the awra, the part, it's a condition to accept the prayers. This is easy, but some people define someone with bad manners, someone who have bad noise. People will tell them, oh, since you did not learn from these prayers, your prayer is not accepted. This is, you went beyond what Allah loved. You have to the part of the salah, if someone who brought it up completed the part, and then it is accepted, and the acceptance is to Allah. So you cannot then say something on Allah but saying that Allah will not accept your prayers. Who told you that Allah do not accept his prayer? This is from your fabrication on Allah Azza wa Jal, and it's from the major sin to claim on Allah what we do not know. The ta'alli is to swear on Allah, to say, oh, by Allah your prayer is not going to be accepted. This is ta'alli. This is what is completely forbidden. If you have a reason that is not accepted, like he did not have wudu, or his awra is stand up, it's very it's uncovered, or any of those things that make the prayer void, but just because you saw bad manners from this person or bad character, so you claim him that it's not going to be accepted, this is very dangerous on you. So stay away from this. So because knowledge the things that Allah accept or do not accept only in the knowledge of Allah the Almighty. Ameen. Someone will say, there isn't a hadith that says maybe a traveling person who is full of dust, and if he asks Allah Azza wa Jalla, Allah will give him. I mean, someone who looks like homeless, and if he swears to Allah, Allah will give him. What's the story behind this hadith? Rubai' ibn al-Nadri, he broke a container for one of the maids. So they asked for forgiveness and to pay. Her parents, they said, forgive us, we will pay money. They refused. They came to the Prophet ﷺ. Then he asked for, then you break the other garment just like you did. So Anas said, Ibn Nadr, you will break he said, no, by Allah it will not be broken. So Prophet ﷺ, oh Anas, Allah's book is the qisas, which is the true punishment. So they all agreed and they forgave. So the Prophet ﷺ said, some of people's servants, whomever swear by Allah, he will do it. He said it as a trust in Allah, good thinking of Allah, good hoping in Allah. It's not like he is make a swear that he will do it. No, it's part of dua and seek and good thinking about Allah Azza wa Jal. So the meaning, if he swear by something, it will happen. And good think of Allah, Allah will give it to him. The Imam Nawawi says, if he swear that something is going to happen, Allah will make it happen because Allah wants to give him, answer his dua. That's because of high status to Allah. So to say Wallahi it will not happen, to say by Allah Allah will not do this, or Allah will do this, by Allah He will do this. There's two types. The first one, he is either too trusted in Allah and good faith in Allah, with his admittance of his weakness, and not to force Allah of something without saying that Allah must do it, then it is allowed. So if you swear by Allah out of good faith in Allah and admitting your weakness, then it is allowed. And the evidence, the Prophet said, whoever looks like a homeless, he is thrown from one door to another. If he swears by Allah, Allah will give him. The other type, whomever is arrogant, is happy with what he got, and he deserves from Allah 1, 2, 3. It is forbidden. It could be one of the things that go to wipe the deeds. The politeness with Allah, it has to be in the beginning, in the first of what we should be concerned. We ask Allah to accept, inshallah. We'll continue tomorrow.